at the year's most talked about gaming events, motion controllers, Modern Warfare 2, and more.
Plus, we'll review Guitar Hero Van Halen and have a special holiday look at Left 4 Dead 2. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that knows when you're sleeping. I'm Morgan Webb.
Yes, I'm in the room with you. I'm Adam Susser. We also know when you're awake and when you buy Dynasty Warriors games.
Yeah, we know that too. Coming up, we're going to celebrate the holidays the only way we know how. Shooting zombies in the face.
Hey, happy holidays!
Hey.
We're going to stay up all night with Left 4 Dead 2 and show you how to survive the zombie apocalypse with all your body parts intact.
Yeah, most of them. Plus, we're going to count down the top stories that rocked the gaming world in 2009. Believe it or not, Blair Herter's World of Warcraft edition did not make a list.
It was close.
But mine might have.
Then we're going to review the game that pretends Sammy Hagar doesn't exist. It's the once free Guitar Hero Van Halen. Now Activision hopes she'll pay for it.
But first, it is time to hit people in the face with a cricket bat.
It's one of the many joys you'll experience while playing Left 4 Dead 2, Valve's take on a southern zombie apocalypse.
There's a wall-to-wall action, ridiculous multiplayer modes, and enough action to keep you up all night, and then some.
'Twas the night before Christmas, or close enough, and all through the house, the only thing stirring was me, playing Left 4 Dead 2, while I'm up all night. It might be the mix of mistletoe and melee, but I'm in the mood to spread my holiday cheer the only way I know how. Hit it. Slashing through the blood with a katana in my hand. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha. Bats on headbands ring, making zombies die. Oh, what fun it is to laugh and sing while decapitating. Oh, Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead. I just got puked on. Oh, what fun it is to kill 1,000,000 zombie hicks. Hey, Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead. The jockey's on my head. Oh, what fun it is to bash a zombie in the face. And then there's the versus mode. Deck the hall with your friend's brains. Fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Take off a head and make it rain. Fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Don't let survivors get the gas can. Fa la 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 la, la la la. Time for a charger sneak attack. Fa la 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 la, la la la. God rest you, merry gentlemen, in a shallow grave. Realism mode will kick your ass, each and every way. Beware the witch, a one-hit kill. Trust me, you'll die a lot. Oh, oh, thank goodness for the D-E-fib, for the D-fib. Oh, oh, thank goodness for the D-E-fib. Joy to the world, survival mode. You better set up a defense. Gonna shoot every zombie, and then I'll start to melee. The charger, boomer, jockey, the spitter, hunter, and tank. How long until they kill us all? Thanks to Valve and Left 4 Dead 2, it truly will be a joyous holiday season to be up all night.
Well, there's no question that Left 4 Dead 2 is more challenging than its predecessor, and here to help you actually make it out alive and get those achievements is seasoned zombie killer Abbie. Happy because your skill level and my skill level, it's like that different. So you have some tips for helping us survive the multiplayer. Like, what are some of the key strategies when we're on the human side?
It sounds so obvious, but communication is so important. You don't know how many matches I get into people who don't have headsets. But even then, if you don't have one, you always have to be paying attention to what everybody in your party is doing. Stay together. I like to move very fast through the levels, stopping only occasionally to pick up stuff on the side. I think the faster that you move through, the less time people have to set up and ambush you. Really helpful. Also, there's so many new weapons. I love the melee weapons. I use them all the time. Whenever you're in a jam, they seem to be way more helpful, I think, even than pistols. So then, if you're playing in just the single-player campaign, there's a lot of good ways. That if your guy's really hurt in the safe room, nail him with a shotgun and then defib him, raise him. They'll have 50% health, and then you can just pick up another health pack and move through the rest of the level.
That's a very wise idea. I like that one. Now, okay, so back to the multiplayer. If you're playing as the infected, what are the things you need to be mindful of going into it?
Well, I think you have to be wary in this one. The boomer doesn't seem to have quite as much range on his bile, so what I've been very kamikaze style, jumping in the middle, making sure that they hit me so I explode explode all over everybody. And then again, all of the zombies are made to work with each other. So you want to have a smoker and then spit on the person that's smokered. You want to have just all the time be making sure that you're attacking together and communicating. Because you can wipe out a team in 20 seconds if you can hit them right out of the gate. Also, as if you're the spitter, you want to try to wait till they're in a room till they have to come out through one area so you can hit them all at once.
Now, I mean, in terms of the multiplayer, you were talking about cooperation and coordination. Is it different than, obviously, the cooperation coordination that, is also kind of expected in other multiplayer games like Modern Warfare 2?
It is. I mean, I think that if you're playing like domination or any kind of the objective-based multiplayer modes in Modern Warfare, there's a communication element. But you can always have people that are running over the map basically playing deathmatch. In Left 4 Dead, anybody isn't communicating, working with the team, you are dead.
Now, let's talk about one of the more challenging achievements, and that is the bridge. In the last campaign, you get 30 achievement points if you run through it in under 3 minutes.
Sure.
You have pulled this off. You are unique. What is the advice you could have for those that might be a little more challenged?
Well, that timer starts when you basically summon the level and you start lowering the bridge. So as soon as it does run, you want one guy who's just running ahead. I mean, you all should be, but everybody should be watching him, clearing zombies off of him. I always take an upward route. I've like clocked myself and how fast I'm going through. Take the upward route. There's a truck that you have to climb to. Always make sure you know where the ladders are and you know your route. And then avoid the tank. I just run right by him. You make sure you don't get hit by a car. And only one person has to make it to get everybody the achievement, but everybody else has to be dead. If anybody's in-capped, you're not going to get it. So if one person has already made it across, everybody can jump off the bridge, and then you'll get and everybody will get the achievement.
Exactly.
Kill themselves.
Just some lemmings, but it's all for the greater good. Just for the greater good. Well, Thank you so much for all of that warm holiday advice. Let's head over to Blair.
I call dibs on Abbie when it hits the fan in real life. Badass. When X Play returns, we're going to count down the top stories of 2009, not the depressing ones about the economy in the Middle East. No, just the ones about gaming. Plus, we're going to review Guitar Hero Van Halen, which, according to my math, is probably the 10th Guitar Hero game released this year. Find out, of course, the holiday cash. And we've got some X Play comedy that's sure to confuse any parents who are lingering about the living room. We'll be right back.
Up All Night is powered by Energizer. Energizer Ultimate Lithium Batteries. Keep going.
There's no way to hide it. If you drive drunk, we will find you. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement and cracking down like never before.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight? Sir, have you been drinking this evening? Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
Make no mistake, you will get caught and you will be arrested. Over the limit, under arrest.
Welcome back to X-Play. Despite the fact that no one pulled the trigger on a new console yet, 2009 was another eventful year in the world of gaming, with folds of ups and downs and airport shootings and arm flailing and controllers that look like ice cream cones. Here are some of the year's biggest moments. One of the top stories and top successes of 2009 was unquestionably Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. According to Activision, more copies of Modern Warfare 2 were pre-ordered than any other game in the company's history. Here in Los Angeles, hundreds of fans braved the maybe I should bring a jacket weather to get their hands on a copy as the midnight bell tolled. The scene was much the same all over the gaming world. Infinity Ward's follow-up to the 2007 smash hit was consumed in mass quantities to the tune of over $300 million in sales in the first day. And that was just the UK and United States. In the first 5 days, Modern Warfare 2 had 8 million online players, constituting a virtual military force larger than the top 5 real armies in the world combined.
Good kill, good kill.
Of course, even the best-selling game is useless without a system to play it on. And all 3 consoles got a lot more affordable in September 2009. Nintendo dropped the Wii's price to $199, hoping to woo the 5 remaining people who don't own one. The 360 Elite dropped to $299, while the arcade model hit $199. This probably helped it compete with the shiny new PlayStation 3 Slim, which hit shelves at $299 in September, increasing sales of Sony's cell-powered underdog tremendously. Now a full $300 cheaper than it was at launch, the PS3 is a formidable foe for the Blu-ray-less 360. Moving into 2010, it's anybody's game in the console arena. Speaking of moving, Sony and Microsoft hope you'll be doing a lot of that next year with their new motion peripherals. Microsoft's Project Natal is a controller-free affair that offers revolutionary new ways to interact with games, whatever those may be. So far, only concept stuff has been shown in these demos and videos, but the one everyone was buzzing about at E3 2009 was Peter Molyneux's Milo. We're not entirely sure how freeform Milo really is, but for me, my hands-on time was one of the most unnerving experiences of the year.
Don't know till I try, do I?
Sony's motion controller is more of a disco wand kind of thing, which makes it much easier to get a handle on. See what I did there? While Natal may be hotter tech, Sony's controller is more obvious in how it can apply to games. The demos given at the Sony press briefing during E3 were promising both in their simplicity and in how well they seem to work. All this is, of course, an attempt by Sony and Microsoft to compete with the runaway success of Nintendo's Wii. Is the Wii impossible to catch at this point, or will the top story of 2010 be the crowning of a new console champion? Stay tuned to X-Play, true gamers.
All right, so 2009 had plenty of huge stories, obviously, but first we should talk about the year's biggest launch, of course, Modern Warfare 2. Now, not only was it the year's most highly anticipated game, it was a juggernaut. Sales records absolutely shattered all across all platforms. Estimated sales of $310 million in North America and the UK alone in the first day. And its first 5 days of availability, the game set a worldwide record of over $550 million in sales. Now, the Call of Duty franchise as a whole has sold over 55 million units worldwide, passing $3 billion in sales. $500 million this game made in its first week, and it has a 6-hour single-player campaign.
It's like the GNP of most countries.
Right?
In a day.
I mean,
just no context.
I don't know how many people were actually disappointed when they got to the end of the single-player campaign.
Right.
But I think most players knew that they were sort of in this for the multiplayer.
I think also it's one of those. It's kind of like a Roland Emmerich movie. It's like everyone knows it's independent of quality. It has to be that cultural touchstone so everyone can talk about the same thing.
No, I mean, and there have been games like this in the past where the Halo launch was the Halo 3 launch was expected to be huge, and because it sort of had a cultural resonance at the time, and this has the current cultural resonance.
And also, I think it's in terms of a major launch like this. I guess we can say this about Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah. It is multi-platform, which does give a little bit of edge in terms of reaching those astronomical numbers.
Right. All right, let's not forget about the early holiday presents we got with all 3 consoles shedding their prices. Nice. PS3, $299 for a Slim, which is fantastic. I mean, I think the price point of the PS3 was a major hurdle for a lot of people.
My camping outside of Tretton's house and badgering him about this, it finally worked.
He watches Cecil Soapbox on G4TV.com. He does.
I hope he does.
He does.
And then the 360 is now $199 for the arcade, $299 for the Elite, which is, of course, I mean, the arcade version doesn't really have the hard drive, so it's a little sad when you open that up. And then the Wii, of course, is $199 too. It's just the consoles have been out there long enough that now the point of entry is just that much better.
Well, and it worked wonders for the PS3. All of a sudden, it started to beat the 360 2 months in a row. Right. And it happened to happen at the same time that there's a lot of unique content for the PS3, not just this year, but in the beginning of next year.
Right.
The other two, I think it helped them, but clearly the big winner in all of this has got to be Sony.
Yeah,
also, the Slim was nice. Yeah.
Right? I mean, Sony had never been ahead in sales, like very far behind the other two for so long, and then suddenly you shave $300 off the price, and now it's appealing.
Amazing!
Yeah, wow, look at that.
I think it released a psychological thing about that, $300 price point, that you've got to get it underneath that, or else it just sounds too expensive.
And it's Slim, so you feel like you're getting an even better deal for even less money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty.
I still have the PS3 fat.
Yeah, mine's pretty fat.
Finally, this year we saw E3 at E3. We saw both Microsoft and Sony jump all over motion-controlled technology.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have Project Natal, which is no controller at all, and it has voice recognition, and they plan to implement it in things other than even just the game, so you can do Minority Report sweepy motions.
Yeah, we're going to see how
Yeah, that sounds too much like
Look
a
at that.
friend.
See, I'm practicing right here and making all my muscles in my fingers.
It just sort of feels like one of those things that sounds nice, but I feel like a lot of people aren't going to actually take advantage. Like, developers aren't going to take advantage of it. Platforms aren't going to take advantage of it.
Well, Molyneux has said that everything that's coming out of Lionhead is going to be incorporating Natal. I guess what... I know, because we do love our Fable. But he was behind easily the creepiest demo I've ever seen in my lifetime, but also one of the most impressive, which was Joshua.
Yeah.
Right. I thought his name was Milo.
Milo. I think of Joshua, and then I think about, maybe
all these
Jericho.
animated children in my life, I can't keep them straight.
Now, Sony is doing something a little bit sort of more familiar, and with theirs, which is a wand that kind of looks like an ice cream cone, but maybe it won't look like an ice cream cone anymore. What does seem to be very impressive is this is offering a level of precision that we keep on wanting, even with Motion Plus.
This is what we wanted from the Wii.
Yeah, and it could mean a lightsaber game that we want.
You know what? I can't even dream about it anymore.
No more dreaming.
No more dreaming.
Keep hope alive. The Ninja Warrior, of course, destroys people, but have you ever seen 4 women try to run it at once? At the same time? Now you can. January 9th, G4 will unleash a weekend devoted to the women of Ninja Warrior. We're going to kick things off with a marathon of classic episodes, and then on January 10th, we'll premiere a 2.5-hour brand new special, which includes that infamous 4-person run on Stage 1. You don't want to miss that. It all starts January 9th, only on G4. Just go to the all-new G4TV.com/Ninja Warrior for details. And after the break, we're going to review Guitar Hero Van Halen, which is Hagar-free, if that matters to you, JP that we work with. Plus, a delightfully disturbing X-Play Classic. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to X-Play. For us, nothing says it's almost Christmas like showing you an old comedy bit.
Especially one that's severely messed up and wrong at many levels. Enjoy.
Yep.
Oh, hey, everyone. Wouldn't it be great if Super Mario Galaxy were real? I just love to tickle all the little toadstools. And I don't even like mushrooms. Why do you suppose Bowser keeps kidnapping the princess? I would imagine that those castles do get pretty lonely. Whatever it is, I'm sure they're having a swell time. Boy, those stars sure would be hot to touch, wouldn't they? It reminds me of the time my mom burned me with a spoon. I should have known better than to bother her in the bathroom, though. I think she didn't want me stumbling across her secret project. Which must have been an effort to cultivate a fire flower in there, 'cause one day she lit up like she was fighting a whole slew of Koopa Troopas. I wonder if Starbits taste like Gushers fruit treats.
Questions about the quality of Guitar Hero Van Halen are perfectly understandable. The music game was given out for free this year, absolutely free, if you bought Guitar Hero 5 when it was released and you filled out a bunch of paperwork. That's not annoying. Now, everyone loves a free game, but is this journey into the soul of Diamond Dave worth actual cash? Find out in our review.
When it comes to Guitar Hero Van Halen, there's an undeniable fact that you can't get around. This should have been DLC. A couple of albums worth of Van Halen tracks to import into Guitar Hero 5 would have been just fine. Instead, Activision gave Van Halen their own game. What happened next is a seminar on how to use bad decisions in band politics to completely murder a potentially cool title. Yes, the band's trademark tracks are here, and I'd be lying if I said that this game doesn't capture the spirit of Eddie Van Halen's insane fretzmanship. The problem is so many glaringly strange choices went into this game that you have to judge it not by what it has, but by what it doesn't have. Let's start with the band. Unless you started listening to Van Halen like 3 years ago, you probably don't consider their current lineup to be the real Van Halen, but that's who you're gonna get in this one. Out is bassist Michael Anthony, and in is Eddie's pudgy son, Wolfgang Van Halen on bass, who, based on his name, I'm almost willing to say is a character they made up just for the game. Guess who else isn't in this one? Sammy Hagar would be a correct guess, but so would 80s era David Lee Roth. He's been replaced instead with old David Lee Roth, making his overtures to sexuality all the more creeptacular. Think you can get past the addition of a geriatric Mr. Lee Roth? Okay, Try this on for size. The supplemental songs added to this title to round out its set list make absolutely no sense. With track choices from the likes of Yellow Card and Third Eye Blind, the lineup in Guitar Hero Van Halen undermines anything that could be considered an actual thematic musical through line. Maybe right now you're thinking, well, hell, I'll just get this title and import all the tracks into Guitar Hero 5 myself. And no, you won't. No importing into GH5. The songs stand alone in the game, and eventually the game will stand alone on the Big Lots sale rack. We want to stomp this one a fresh mud hole, but you know what? We can't. The band's classic songs are well represented, fun to play, and they sound amazing. In the end, just like in real life, Van Halen's music has persevered despite a storm of ego and poor choices, and honestly, that's the most appropriately themed aspect of this game. Guitar Hero Van Halen gets 3 missing Cabawabos out of 5.
Coming up on X-Play, it's business in the front, party in the back with the worst games of the year. It's time once again for X-Play's Golden Mullet Awards, where we celebrate and denigrate 2009's most abhorrent game. But the hair will be amazing. And later in the week, learn why it's good to have some real-life friends when we look at the rise of co-op games. Plus, we hit the road and take you inside the life of T-Squared. Find out what it takes to be a professional gamer on the road, and see what goes down on the MLG Pro Circuit. All that and more, don't miss it.
I'm very excited for the Golden Mullets. Now, this is an X-Play institution.
Yes, yes. Children always come up to me, and after saying, I hate you, they say, why is it called the Golden Mullet?
Why is it called the Golden Mullets, Adam?
Yes, it's so much like Passover. This award show is different from other award shows in that the mullet is a reference to Aquaman, one of the worst games ever made. He had a kind of a mullet in that game.
He more than kind of a mullet.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
We honor that every year.
Up next, Attack of the Show.